Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and it's time to wrap up our sensational, celebrational, inspirational, Muppetational coverage as we discuss It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie, starring David Arquette, Steve Whitmire, Joan Cusack, Whoopi Goldberg, Dave Goelz, Bill Beretta, Eric Jacobson, Matthew Lillard, William H. Macy, Mel Brooks, Brian Henson, Kevin Clash, Zach Braff, and Carson Daly. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And as I said in the introduction, the week is winding down, the month is coming to an end, the year is about to turn anew, and we're wrapping up our sensational, celebrational, inspirational, Muppetational coverage, and discussing It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie. Essentially, their take on the classic Christmas film, It's a Wonderful Life. Our movie opens during the holiday season, and the Muppet Theater is going through a financial hardship. The Muppets are seeking guidance from Kermit the Frog, and eventually, Kermit begins to feel like he is not useful to anyone. An angel named Daniel brings this up with his boss, and they review what has gone on with Kermit in the past few hours. Now, hours earlier, Kermit is preparing a Christmas show with his fellow Muppets when Kermit is approached by Rachel Bitterman, a banker slash real estate agent who says that she is about to foreclose on the Muppet Theater if the Muppets can't pay her. Now, Pepe the King Prawn decides to leave the Muppets because he has fallen in love with Bitterman. And while trying to figure out how to raise the money to pay Bitterman, Kermit attempts to find a celebrity to participate in their show, but to no avail. After learning from Pepe that the contract deadline is midnight, Bitterman changes it to 6 p.m. Now, Pepe overhears this and he warns Kermit about the deadline change. Upon discovering this, Kermit sends Fozzie out to deliver the money to Bitterman, but Fozzie ends up confronting a crazed nature show host and a gang of Who's after being dyed green at a Christmas tree lot, and ends up being mistaken for the Grinch. Fozzie then goes through a steam bath and ends up back to normal, where he is able to fool the Who's. Fozzie eventually makes it to the bank and Bitterman's office, where he has to go through a gigantic web of burning lasers that he is forced to go through multiple times before finally discovering that he is too late and that he grabbed the wrong bag after bumping into a Salvation Army Santa back at the Christmas tree lot. After witnessing all of these events, the boss sends Daniel down to help Kermit. Daniel arrives, and during a conversation with Kermit, Kermit wishes that he had never been born. So, Daniel shows Kermit what the world would be like if he had not existed. Now, in the world without Kermit, Bitterman has turned the park near the Muppet Theater into a shopping mall called Bitterman Plaza. The Muppet Theater itself has been turned into a nightclub called Club Dot, which is owned by Bitterman. Doc Hopper's French fried frog legs has become a fast food restaurant, world famous, and all of Kermit's friends have fallen into various detrimental situations. After all this, Kermit has Daniel send him back to his reality, and he returns to the Muppet Theater. However, Bitterman arrives to shut down the theater and fights with Miss Piggy. Pepe then arrives and breaks up the fight, announcing that he has filed paperwork with the city to turn the Muppet Theater into a historical landmark, which foils Bitterman's plans. Embittered and defeated, Bitterman storms out of the Muppet Theater, and our movie comes to its end. Now, I don't know why, but this Muppet movie gets a lot of crap from the Muppet community. And I don't get it. I adore this film. Number one, I love It's a Wonderful Life, anyways. So the fact that this is basically the Muppets' take on it, I love it. But then you get all the pop culture references. You know, you get Kermit the Frog being interviewed by Carson Daly. You get a cameo from Triumph, the insult comic dog. The the nature show host is a knock at Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. You get Fozzie being turned into the Grinch and having to escape from the Who's. You get a frog getting triple frog dared. and getting his tongue stuck onto a pole, much like in A Christmas Story. You get a parody of Cirque du Soleil called Cirque de la May in the very beginning when Matthew Lillard comes in to try and help get their Christmas show organized while Kermit's doing promotion. You get an appearance from Joe Rogan and Fear Factor. You get the cast of Scrubs. Like, there's so much pop culture. Maybe people hate it because it's too much of a time capsule. And you figure Steve Irwin is dead now. Fear Factor, I don't even think it's on the air anymore. Carson Daly's not as big as he used to be. Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, nowhere near where he used to be. So maybe it just comes off as too outdated. But the touch that I really love in this is the fact that they resurrect Doc Hopper's French fried frog legs. In a world without Kermit, the Muppet movie didn't exist, so he wasn't able to foil Doc Hopper back in the 70s. So Doc Hopper's taken the world by storm. That one little tidbit is one of the things that I really love about this. And then it's not a musical. 95% of Muppet movies are musicals. This is not. There is one song in the whole movie, a song called Everyone Matters that comes at the climax of the film, where Kermit has now realized how much better his life has been and how much of an effect he's had positively on the world. We see Gonzo in Bitterman Plaza, and he begins to sing this depressing song. The colors are like all faded in the movie. And he's talking about how this is the worst Christmas of his life. And Kermit walks up to him and is like, "Don't give up. You just haven't found your audience yet." And as he turns the song around into a note of positivity, the colors become bright again. And everything's not so dim and so bleak. And he's telling you everyone matters, you know? Even the smallest of the small can make the biggest dreams come true. And it just gut punches you because Kermit has had his aha moment. And you don't want to see Kermit be depressed and sulking and everything. That's not our Kermit. Our Kermit needs to be happy, full of positivity and joy and love. So that may be another reason why Muppet fans don't like it, is because Kermit comes off as so dark in this. You know, he's essentially suicidal because he wishes he had never been born. He wishes he was dead. So that could be another reason why people don't like it. But whether we all want to admit it or not, I think we've all had that moment at some point in our lives where we think that the people around us would be better off if we weren't there. And eventually we have that aha moment, just like Kermit did, just like George Bailey did, where we realize that our lives are better off where we are, and we see how much better our lives off where we are and how much we've positively influenced those around us. So every now and again, I think we need that type of tale. And we got it here with the Muppets. We got it back in the 40s with James Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life. If you missed my review of that, I'll link it up here. Go check that out. But I adore this film. When it comes to my rating for It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie, I give it 5 out of 5. It's seasonal, it's depressing, but it's so good. They weren't depressing just for the sake of being depressing. They were depressing for the sake of giving us a positive moral at the end of the day. And that's one of the things you can always look forwards to in Muppet content is regardless of how bad things get during the movie, there's always going to be something positive come the end of the movie. All of the anguish, all of the depression is going to end up being for something good. 5 stars for It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie. What do you guys think of it? Let me know if you're watching the premiere. Leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's have that conversation, that debate, that discussion, that interaction that I'm always asking from you guys in the comments below. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And we do our last new release Saturday for the year. We're going to discuss the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, the Disney Plus original, starring Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillan, Palm Clementif, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Sean Gunn, Michael Rooker, and Kevin Bacon. And then a little bit later in the evening, we're going to do this at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. The final review of Renegades Reviews for the year will go up. We're going to discuss New Year's Eve, the all-star cast that includes, alphabetically, Jake T. Austin, James Belushi, Halle Berry, Jessica Biel, John Bon Jovi, Ludacris, Matthew Broderick, Robert De Niro, Josh Duhamel, Zac Efron, Carrie Elway, Katherine Heigl, Ashton Kutcher, John Lithgow, Seth Meyers, Alyssa Milano, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michelle Pfeiffer, Ryan Seacrest, Hilary Swank, Sofia Vergara, Common, and so many others. But that's not all, because at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as on the Jeff Meacham Network and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media, it'll be our last open mic night for the year, the Coast to Coast New Year's Countdown. Again, beginning at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, myself, the Simple Man Noah Foster, James Hebert, the West Coast Professor Jeff Meacham, and anybody else that decides to come in and join us. We're going to do a Coast to Coast New Year's Countdown. This is something Jeff has always wanted to do live. We will be live for each time zone to count to New Year's and drop the ball. So make sure you tune in right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, the Jeff Meacham Network, and across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media for this coverage. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, across the Jeff Meacham Network multiverse of media. 2 more episodes of Renegades Reviews. One of them is a new release Saturday. Open mic night, coast to coast, New Year's Eve celebration. So much good stuff in store for you, and only 2 days left in the month and the year. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles in your life, fans of Christmas movies, fans of It's a Wonderful Life, fans of the Muppets, fans of David Arquette, Whoopi Goldberg, Joan Cusack, Matthew Lillard, William H. Macy, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this content in my videos, share it with them. It's the only way we're going to boost up my visibility in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized and make some money on my productions here. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And I will see you guys next time.